Good morning, TE family. God bless you guys this morning. I have a very special guest here this morning, Ramon. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great this morning. Glad to be able to talk to you this early.
Yes, sir, man. Early bird get the worm. You know we got to get started early.
We do. We do. So we can maximize the day.
Yes, sir. I love that men's group you have every Sunday, man. That's helpful to a lot of people, especially these times where people are going through so much. A lot of people laid off and stuff, so that's very encouraging.
We need it, man. We needed it. When we started the meetings last year, end of last year, we understand that, men are under different pressure and black men are really under different pressure. And people are afraid to discuss it, but it's something that has to be discussed because there's no way possible for us to truly build wealth if we don't know what game we're playing. And the game that we're playing, man, we got to be able to deal with the pressures of the world. And I don't care what people think and feel. It's black men deal with something differently, and we should, because we are the providers and protectors. But black men deal with some things that unnecessarily we have to deal with. But if we know that we got to deal with them, it should be a different kind of pressure. Like, we shouldn't expect, oh man, if I was something else, But we have to take advantage of who we are, and we know what rules we're playing by. Unfortunately, sometimes.
Right. Yeah, that's very needed. Very much needed. Thank you so much for that. Can you tell us a little bit, Ramon, about what you do and how you got started in real estate?
So, again, I'm Ramon Tookes, born and raised here in Atlanta, and got started in real estate in my freshman year of college. Just wanted a way to make some more money. I had already been in business. My father encouraged us to be entrepreneurs at an early age. He used to tell us, if y'all want a job, you're gonna pay bills. If you want a business, I'll buy you whatever you need. So starting off with car wash businesses, buying, selling cars. We had a lawn care service. Had a lawn care service by the time I was like 18, full fledged, rocking and rolling. And so I didn't care for that either. So I've been in different kind of businesses. So at 19, we went out and started being bird dogs, finding deals for other folks. And, for the past 25 years, I have been entrenched in real estate. Like I said, I started bird dogging, moved into buying, holding, rentals, then moved into flipping. Then we moved into multifamily, which was a part of the buy and hold, and then commercial, and then development. So we ran the gamut over the past 24 years, good and bad. I always say good and great, because some people look at some of the things that happened early on, in 2007, 2001. People forget about that pseudo crash when 9/11 happened, 2007 through 2010. And in 2013, man, after 2008, for about 2 or 3 years, we had to survive in the market. By the time 2010 hit, the hedge funds were here, and we started to do more business with the hedge funds, and then we jumped back in, I'll say head first, into fixing and flipping, developing. And around 2013, we started educating. We had doing some stuff free for many, many years. And in 2015, we formally introduced Flipology, what people see today as Flipology, our formal weekend course. So just, we ran the gamut, man. Just been doing everything. We've done transactions all over the country. This is what I do for a living. I sleep it, eat it, breathe it, and I love
it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so you seen the crash in 08, 09. 08, 09. What you think about now? Do you think
we lost a ton of stuff? Almost lost our mind, but because how we were raised and having a great support system, as they say, this too shall pass. And so we knew something good was going to come out of it. And then it did, man. It didn't last that long. It didn't last as long as people wanted to make it seem like it lasted.
Right. It was back up and rolling quick.
Yeah, it was.
To me, it seemed like quick after a couple of years, about
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
I would say
It went from '07 to, I won't say the end of 9, because by 10, man, they were buying up. Folks were buying it up. You had all the hedge funds in here in 10. So I think it started going back up in 10. And that's why they said we had a 10-year run like no other time in history. It was 10, 11 years between '09 to now. And, segue into now, not only do I pray it doesn't collapse, I don't think it's going to collapse. And we're going to see over the next 90 days. Right now, signs don't say it's going to collapse.
Yeah. It looks good. It looks pretty good. I'm seeing a little declining out in Gwinnett in my area. It's going down a little bit. I believe if they can stop them foreclosures from hitting, we'll be okay. But if them foreclosures start hitting like crazy, it's gonna mess up the market a little bit. But hopefully, I mean, they act like they're trying to work it out. I just hope.
I don't think they want to repeat of what's happening.
Yeah, on his watch too. It kind of seemed hard. He gonna let that happen.
Yeah. I don't think the Republicans are gonna let it fail. It's gonna be hard. I think over the next 90 days we will see what the economy is gonna be like. Right now, things are still selling like crazy. Listings are still, as soon as they hit the market within a 2-week period, they're under contract. So it's maybe days on market has gotten shorter since the pandemic because people want to take advantage of the interest rate. So I think that will, in a city like Atlanta, we have what I would call the best of all worlds. And when I say that is you have low interest rates and a shortage of supply still. There's still a shortage of properties for sale. Yep. Homeowners are going crazy, man. There's still a ton of people that can qualify. There's still a ton of people that have pre-approvals that are out looking for properties, especially those properties under, 300,000.
Right. That's like the sweet spot. You can sell all day up under that especially FHA and all that stuff. So I'm gonna ask you this, Ramon. What is your why? Why do you Why do you do what you do?
That has evolved over time.
Yeah.
My why when I first started was to make some money, right? It was nothing different. I was 19, 20 years old. It was just to make some money. My why over time, I would say, is my children. It started to say, man, it's my children. It's my children. But when I dig deeper, why is it my children? I asked a question last week, why is your why your why? Right. And I answered that question myself. My why is my why because I want to leave a great impact on this world. I want to be, and I don't mean, it don't have to be just financially, but I want to make sure I'm inspiring folks to do better. I'm inspiring folks not to make the same mistakes that I've made. So my why is probably threefold. Yes, it is still my family, my legacy inside of my family. But it's also to, if I can change the life of one person other than somebody inside of my family to do better with their lives, then I think I would have lived a great life.
Yes, sir. I like that answer. Great answer. Great answer. So, guys, look at the bottom. This Ramon website, University of Wealth Building. You got an event coming up, Flipology. When is that?
July 10th through 12th. And so we do it 3 times a year here in Atlanta, March, July, and November. We still anticipate having the event. We think by July, people should be back open. We hope. And if not, we have a backup plan to do it virtually, including the bus tour with our team being out in the field. So we're still moving forward, man. It's what I tell people, one of the greatest weekends you can ever attend. And it's not because of me, it's because of the folks and the information, the folks that are speaking and the information that you receive when you're there.
So can you give us a little brief breakdown of what you guys do every day? Because it's 3 days, right?
So it's 2.5. I call it 2.5 days. It begins Friday afternoon with our mixer, and I call it the icebreaker. But we also on Friday afternoon do some education. This past time we had a comedian come out. We were over at the Oak Lounge. And so Friday is about getting us started, talking about the foundation and then just having a good time, eating together, laughing together, because we're for the next 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be going, 12 hours. On Saturday, we begin at 7:30 in the morning. We usually end about 7:30 at night. We feed you guys breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but we go through the process on Saturday of finding deals, funding deals. We probably have 10 different ways, 10 to 12 different ways you can fund a deal. Speakers from, IRA companies, different types of lenders. Then we talk about how to fix deals. So we bring in our inspectors, contractors, and that usually each Saturday all up. It takes about 12 hours to go through that. And then on Sunday, we begin the day with some motivational, and we begin Saturday too with motivational, but Sunday motivational, and maybe some follow up from Saturday. And then we take off on the buses going through the neighborhoods until about 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock. And we're looking at properties in different phases, talking about, the real deal, the real numbers, how we estimated what happened, if it all went good, if it didn't, how did we overcome that? And then we get back to the event center, and then we go over the closing process, what's next, and how important are real estate agents. So we go through the process from beginning to end. We want to make sure when you leave, there is no excuse why you're not doing the business.
Right. Only way you're not doing it, you're not taking no action. And that's you.
And we do our best to give actionable steps before you leave.
Wow, that's awesome. So how important would you say is a home inspection? Because I know you do a lot of rehabs. How important would you say a home inspection is before you get started doing a rehab on the property, before you even buy it?
Very. I don't care how seasoned you are, unless you know you're going to push it over, you need a home inspection, because with renovations, there's things that we're not able to see behind the wall, and the inspector's not either, but he can detect more than we can detect. I do on major renovations, we still do inspections because we want to make sure the foundation, the structure is in shape. Everything else we know we're going to gut it to the studs, so we're not as concerned, but we still get inspections. And I'll tell you this. We're doing some multifamily, in cities that are not in our backyard in Atlanta. And one thing that I'm instructing folks to do is, spend it through a roof structure issues. After that, everything is so easy, but if you got a foundation issue, we need to account for that. I'm not going to run from it because it has a foundation issue. I just got to make the adjustment in my budget if there's a foundation issue.
How much could that cost you, like on a 1,300 square foot house? What would that cost?
If it's on a crawl space, how big is the crawl space? But it can start anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000. I mean, we've had to fix corners of houses, we've had to jack up houses, we've had to do, almost rebuild, sit the houses on blocks and then fix the structure from the bottom. So we've probably one house that I did in Westview, we spent about $16,000 fixing the foundation.
Wow. That's a serious, yeah. You definitely want to put that in the budget. Oh my
God, man. Oh yeah.
If you miss that one, that could cost you a whole deal, especially if you're over budget. Because a lot of times,
don't have it. If you don't have it, and if you didn't put it in your escrow agreement, if you had a loan, yeah, for sure.
That could take you out the game, man. Guys, getting a home inspection, that is important. Very important. Guys,
if you don't want to pay for a home inspection, you probably don't need to be in this business. I'm just being honest with you, because it's going to catch up with you sooner or later. It's only $400, and if you're dealing with multifamily, it's probably $250 to $300 per unit.
And that's what I tell people. Once they see what's going on with the property, then you can go back and negotiate with the seller. It gives you more leverage. And you mess around, buy too high, and then find out you got a foundation issue. It's not gonna be too nice.
They say goodbye, Irene.
Guys, any questions, put it in the chat. We're here with Ramon Tookes of the University of Wealth Building. Ramon, you've done, man, a lot of rehabs, man. You're a vet with them rehabs. I see you
I have
guys.
no hair.
What you say?
That's why my hair gone.
Hey, it'll do it to you sometimes, man. I remember when I first got started, my mentor said, do not start off with a rehab on your first deal. So I waited till my third, and man, boy, it was like, man, them contractors gave me a run for my money. We ended up putting so much money in the property on the way out of the hard money because we were using, what's my boy Jules? At Omni Bank. We were using Omni Bank back then.
I'm with Jeff Levine.
Yeah, they went belly up, man. They was cool though. We would use the Omni, man, so we refinanced. The only way it was out of that deal was to refinance because we put too much money. The contractors beat us over the head, man. Tore us up. So we had to get out that hard money loan, so we had to refinance and get up out of there. And we didn't get a home inspection because we bought it and all up under the house was full of mold. Man,
whole nother different animal. Water and mold is something, man, that people don't understand. They are, water is probably the worst culprit for all of these deals. If you got water in your basement or crawl space, man, listen, you better get estimates up front because they are very hard to detect and very hard to stop. It's very hard to stop.
Man, that was a nightmare. On my first one, too, I'm like, oh my God. Hey, guys, I get a coach, man. If you're going to do, period, you need a coach because it's shortened, your learning curve. Like I always say, you're going to pay up front with mistakes or you pay with the coach and go on through and avoid all the mistakes that, we went through. So you're going to pay regardless.
And that's one of the reasons why we have different programming. We do project management for folks. I'll do consults with folks, man. And when people call me and they ask for, I tell them what it costs for me to consult or walk a property with them. Some people are like, that's too much. And I just say, okay. And then the same people call me back later and you're going to pay double, because now we got to fix it for you. Now we got to bring in our contractors when we're saying, let's do it up front. Let's put together your budget. We charge $450 to put together a budget. What happens is with folks, when people don't think about it, when you hire us as your project managers or your contractors, you get our full team, you get our experience, you get our eyes, we know what sells. You get, basically you almost get my interior designer for free, and if nothing else, you get my eyes. And I can tell you that this house doesn't flow because of my experience, or my team can come out there and tell you. So when people don't want to pay us, man, I've learned, and it used to bother me sometimes. I used to be like, man, should we drop the price? No, I'm not dropping the price, man. I don't do free. I don't allow my contractors to come and do free estimates. You can call the people that say free estimates anywhere. I'm gonna let them run around because people that don't want to pay, then normally they're not gonna pay our prices anyway. And we're not the cheapest, We're not the most expensive. We're good. So we will make our money. And if you don't want us to make it, then let you call, Joe the plumber. We're cool with
it. Man, that's sweet too. $450. And you guys,
and listen, if you use us, the $450 is credited towards the cost of the project. So, if we got $100,000 project and you use us, we're gonna give the $450. So you're gonna owe us $99,550, right? If you decide not to use us, you got a complete breakdown, estimates, measurements. We put a full scope of work together, which includes helping you select your fixtures and finishing. So you can take that anywhere and compare. A lot of times people, that's what they do. They call you to compare what other contractors say. But while they're doing that, $450, it means my guys got gas in their cars for coming out there. It takes hours. It really takes a couple of days to put together a full scope of work. And so you're talking about giving us $5 an hour or $10 an hour to do it. I got to make them stop. I got to make my roofer, my sheetrock guy, my plumbers, my electrician, my HVAC guys, my flooring guys, cabinet guys, stop what they're doing to come somewhere for free. At least if I can say, hey, everybody, here go gas money, they don't mind. But if we make them stop 10 times in a week, when are they going to be working on the projects that they're supposed to be working on? Not going to happen. So we're not going to do it for free.
Right. Time is money. Shoot. Man, that's a blessing. I didn't know y'all put together the whole scope. You definitely need that when you're doing the renovations, man. That saves you so much time and money. Because most people getting started don't even know how to do the material costs. labor costs and all that stuff. That's why you get taken. Because I didn't know that on the first rehab. I just seen some workers say, oh, okay, I need this done, this done. You know, I didn't price the material. I just jumped in. I'm glad I did.
And see, that's another thing here in Atlanta. Some of the other cities that we work in, we don't break it down as much as we do here, but we teach folks how to do it. But here we do cost plus the 10% management fee, right? So you buy your own. I don't make any upcharge on your material. You know, you can use our account at Home Depot or Lowe's. You can use our account at the supply houses, and you buy that direct, right? Then you pay for our labor every Friday. When it's time to pay on Friday, we all go through what it's supposed to be on Thursday, and then on Friday you pay. And so you're only really paying for labor plus our cost for management. If your project is $100,000, we charge $10,000 to manage it.
Right. That's only fair.
You know, and a lot of contractors give you an upcharge on material, you know, so they making, you know, another 10, 20% on material. I don't want to do that. I want to give you the best product possible. I want to use, you know, even on our low end properties, we have high end finishes, right? I got a property that we just listed on Joseph Boone for $199, and the lady laughed. She was like, "This is like a chef's kitchen." We got hard. I don't believe in carpet. I don't put carpet in any houses.
Yeah.
We got hardwoods throughout, tile from floor to ceiling, stainless steel, you know, granite and marble countertops. I do everything the same way because I believe no matter what price range you're in as a homeowner, you deserve to have the best. And then it's not that much difference to do it. It doesn't cost that much more different.
Yeah, y'all do some high end, nice finishes.
Oh yeah, seriously though, man. Sheetrock is sheetrock, paint is paint. So the only difference in a renovation would be your molding doors, you know, and your cabinets are normally the same. It's very rare. The cabinets that are in $500,000 houses, 400, they're the same cabinets that people put, you know, that we put in our apartments. So I tell people we got the quiet, soft shut cabinets. It costs really about the same, and it gives a different feel. So if I am somebody that's buying $180,000 house from us, and I walk in there and I feel like, wow, you know what I mean? It makes people feel like I got a home. And instead of me putting together, you know, doors are different, doorknobs are different. I'm like, man, why are y'all doing that? And then it costs you an extra few $100s. Let's make homeowners feel like homeowners, because that same homeowner is going to call you when they move up. The same homeowner is going to refer you when somebody else is looking for a house. You know, when their friends come over. You know, if you look at this house I'm talking about on Boone, and we got vaulted 10-foot ceilings in there. I mean, I have fun with it, and yeah, I could make more money probably per deal, but it is the art of the business I love, and I know what I would want to live in, and not that we're doing it custom. We're just giving you that wow factor.
Yeah, that's what get the house sold. And people wonder why, if you got a house been sitting on the market a long time, chances are you got some cheap stuff in there. I see people, man, they go in to do some terrible rehabs, man. I'm talking about the rehab need a rehab. Man.
I got to write that one down. I'm going to steal that one.
Man, your rehab need a rehab.
Does your rehab need a rehab?
It's ridiculous.
I like that one. I'm going to give you some credit for that one.
Because you want to get it sold, man. Every time, man. You put that top shelf stuff, you don't have no problem. Under contract within days. Wow. That's awesome, man. Let me see if we got any questions. Morning. Good morning, everybody. Sharice, this is one of our students. Sharice said, thank you for hooking us up with Dana.
Good morning, Sharice. You're welcome.
Yeah, Dana took care of us. We appreciate it, man. She got us straight too. Yeah, people in Texas.
Yeah, she's an amazing resource.
Okay, Dupree said, do you have your people in Texas? Yeah. What do you mean by that, Dupree? Rehab?
Probably talking about team members. So we have a team in Houston and Dallas. And if there's a city that you're in that we don't have a team, you know, we can assist you with building a team. For us, it's the same process over and over. But we have a very, very strong team in Houston and a very strong team in Dallas.
That's great. Guys, definitely don't miss out on the event in July, Flipology. Don't miss out on Flipology. They can register on your website.
Yes, register on the website.
Okay,
And
guys.
Right now it's only we were going to bump it, it bumps up every month, but it's $297 right now. If they're one of your students, they will have to, send you an email, but I would take $100 off because they're one of your students. They're already in your program, and we want to make sure folks get what they're supposed to be getting, and that's the benefit of being attached to you.
Yes, sir. And guys, like serious business, if you want to learn this rehab business and how to make some nice checks, this is the guy who you want to see. Honestly, like serious business. This is the guy you want to see. You want to learn how to, because some people love getting there, making them ugly houses look pretty. And that's the joy of it once you get in there and really know how to do the system. Because if you get a good system put together with these rehabs, you can keep rolling through them. And get a good management company.
I always say they need to understand the process no matter what side of the business you're getting in. So if you are wholesaling, if you understand how to estimate repairs, you attract more real buyers. So when you call us with a property, you say, hey, it needs 20,000 in work and we see it need 50. I really stop answering your phone call after you repeatedly do that, because I think you're at some point, your ignorance doesn't excuse you from, taking from us, right? If you are a rehabber, whether it's a light rehabber, whether you're doing the pretty house business like you teach, they still need to understand when they walk in the house, what is it going to take to paint and carpet? Like, you need to understand square footage, you need to understand what that will take, so that if you're selling it or if you're buying it yourself, you have the proper budget. And then if you're doing rentals, same thing. You need to understand what it takes to rehab. This is the most important piece of the business, because funding is everywhere, right? Funding is everywhere, man. We're releasing a $10 million fund today that you can use fix and flip with credit scores of 650, right?
Wow. Man, y'all have them deals over there too, man.
Deals are everywhere. So funding and deals are everywhere. It's normally the process, right? If people always say you make money when you buy the deal. I always disagree with that. You make money through the process. You make money during the deal. You don't make it when you buy it, because I can buy it at 50 cents on the dollar, but if I get screwed through the process, I still don't make any money then.
Tell me about it.
They make money when they buy it.
Man, you got to be on it. You got to be on it. Rehab is no joke. Like serious business. You better know what you're doing. Don't get it, man. I've seen it too many times, especially like when the market had crashed last time. We were doing a lot of short sales. It was so many these rookie investors that jumped in and bought a property. Like the property need 40, 50,000 repairs. They bought it 80 cents on the dollar. How you gonna make some money? They look at HGTV, man. They go nuts. This real stuff. This not TV stuff.
Real stuff, man. Real stuff. And again, man, that's why we keep educating though. We do a lot of free education, man. And people take it for granted sometimes. We got events that we do every week that are free, that you can learn. I'm not saying they're 5-hour events, but you get a chance to ask questions. We do an event called Deal Makers every single Thursday except Thanksgiving, right? And we get on now. It's been even better, because we've been on Zoom and with 50, 60, 70 folks every week since this pandemic, with people from all over the country. So now we're analyzing deals all over the country at one time, as opposed to, we'll go to different cities and do it. So we had Deal Makers in Carolina, Deal Makers of Macon, Deal Makers. We were starting on March 21st. It was going to be our first Deal Makers of Milwaukee, right? Because we got a team in Milwaukee. And so, we had to cancel that because of what happened, because of the corona. But now they're on the phone. Now we got some deals in Milwaukee, man, that are like, my God, they're unbelievable, man. Like, we got some duplexes right now. If you watch my page today, we putting out a duplex today for $65,000. That's getting $1,600 a month, fully occupied, no work needed.
Whoa, they cheap like that up there? Them houses?
Same thing in Cleveland. We got a ton of stuff in Cleveland, man. So, you know, if somebody's looking for, and we're pushing folks to get some passive income, right? And I'm saying massive passive income, because that can, even if you only got one that's giving you extra $400 a month, right? That's $4,800 a year. That changes it can change your life. $4,800 over a 10-year period is $50,000 in savings. And if you're investing that, buying property after property, those 400 add up. I'm not telling somebody to go buy 20 properties a day if that's not something that you can afford. But let's start with one that can yield you, after everything's said and done, an extra $400 into your savings account. Right. And then at the end of 12 months, you can take that 4,800 and invest it in another property. And you just keep maybe one a year for 10 years. And if you end up with 10 properties for your retirement, now you're talking about, I got an extra $4,000 a month coming in. That's $48,000 a year. That is more than what most Americans are going to make every year. Most Americans make less than $30,000 a year. So if we had 10 properties over a 10-year period, then you would do very well in life. That's your retirement.
And that's where you definitely want to be straight. You don't want to be 70, 80 years old, got to work, man. That's terrible. Man, unless you love what you're doing. But if you got to work just to survive at 70 or 80, man, you didn't play the money game to win. You just kept your eyes closed. And
you know, and things happen to people. I mean, you know, I tell people at 26, I was worth about $12.5 million. By the time the market crashed, man, I probably was negative $2 million. So, you know, but you got to keep fighting. You know, you got to keep fighting. You got to keep getting around the folks that will help you. I mean, we lost so much stuff, man. We was doing a development at Stonecrest right when the market crashed, and it was my biggest development. It was 115 lots, and we had it under contract. And the contractor, John Willing, had given us $50,000 earnest money. And what they told us is, as soon as you get the permit, the land disturbance permit from the Cobb County, we're going to close, right? And I remember I had been paying $15,000 to $20,000 a month on the note for that land for about a year, right? But I was going to make, you know, high six figures when they bought it. Okay. And when the market crashed and we got our permit, boom, we got it. Let's go. We can move the dirt. We called them. They said, you know, y'all can keep that earnest money. They didn't want it. It was over. God. And so, you know, we for about, I had probably spent, I don't know, 250, 300 grand in soft cost engineering plans, surveys, rock studies, geotechnical studies, and paying the payment, right? For about a year and a half. But I knew that 250 was we were going to make about 650, 700,000 without ever touching the dirt. Yeah, it was a very good opportunity. But, you know, out of our hands, the market crashed. And so would I do it again? Yep, I'll do it again. Yeah.
I mean, I tell people, look, stuff going to happen. As long as you don't die, you okay. You can get up and fight again. Stuff going to happen. This ain't perfect.
And if you die, you're okay. If you did the right thing while you were living.
That's right. Let me see. We got any questions. Okay, that's all we got. Ramon, I ain't gonna hold you, man. I really appreciate your time. Thank you, man.
I appreciate you too, man. And listen, if you're around tonight, I want you to, you get time, man, you know, listening to IG Live. We've been talking about doing business outside of your backyard. Monday, we did Cleveland, Ohio. Wednesday, we did Birmingham and Montgomery, Alabama. Tonight, we're going to be talking with our partners in Houston, possibly Milwaukee, possibly Cali. But we got a few people jumping on. Detroit definitely going to be on tonight. So we're just talking about, so you guys will know, don't be afraid. And if you're in these cities, we got teams that can assist you. And it's going to cost you a little bit. You know, I think that's everybody's fear. What is it going to cost me? Is it going to cost me? This stuff is not free. And people, you know, if you don't have it, you don't have it. But figure out a way. If you got time is just important as money. So if you're willing to come and put some work in, we'll make money together. But if you don't have time or money, this is not the business for you.
Well, hey, you got to keep it moving. So how can they get in contact with you, Ramon? What's your social media? All your social media.
On all social medias, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere you want to reach me, and I respond to all messages. So if you send me a DM or inbox me, I'm going to respond.
Yes, sir. Any last words before we get out here and get our day back start going?
Listen, what I would say is, no matter where you are, who you are, I believe in abundance, and the abundance is for all of us. God didn't say, I'm going to give it to Ramon and not give it to Sally, right? But he also wants us to take action. If you take the action, he'll finish it for you. If you're working on it, he's going to help you finish it. So biggest thing I would say is, guys, go take actions. Don't be afraid of losing, because there's no such thing. Maybe you hit a challenge. Maybe you hit a mountain that you either got to climb, go over, go around it, go through it, but you got to take action, right? And you can take some calculated actions with the right partners.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
do it alone. Don't be the self-made millionaire, because there's no such thing. Somebody help somebody.
Yep.
So I'm going to say today, just go out there and take action.
Yes,
and you'll
sir.
be okay.
Yes, sir. 100%. 100%. Well, thank you, Mr. Tookes. Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless y'all. Take action, and we'll see you at the top.
Have a good one.